Just when I thought that it couldn't get any worse than Superman 3, this movie comes along and challenges that notion. However, I hesitate to call it a movie because that implies that it's a finished work, and I don't believe that's the case. Superman 4: The Quest for Peace initially had the necessary assets to be good. Richard Lester was gone, Richard Pryor was gone, Gene Hackman was back as Lex Luthor, and there was a new team of screenwriters. However, the piece of the railroad that began this train wreck was actually the team of producers. Without going too deep into the numerous budget cuts and other behind-the-scenes troubles involved with canon films, just know that Christopher Reeve himself admitted that running out of money resulted in an unfinished film. The story revolves around the growing threat of nuclear destruction. Despite being advised against it by some nameless Kryptonian elders, and not Marlon Brando for some reason, in the Fortress of Solitude, Superman decides to get involved in earthly affairs, proposing to rid the world of all nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is broken out of prison by his nephew Lenny, after which he once again vows to destroy Superman. His plan is to steal a strand of the Man of Steel's hair from a museum and send it into the sun with all of the nuclear warheads. Somehow, this creates the superpowered being known as Nuclear Man. All that and no Lana Lang. I guess they somehow forgot about her. Veteran actors like Gene Hackman, Marlo Kidder, and especially Christopher Reeve try their very best, but they just can't work with this script. Supposedly, over 40 minutes were deleted from the film to account for budget cuts. So I realize that we're not exactly getting the complete package, but that doesn't excuse how poorly written the final cut is. When I heard Reeve and company say lines like, "I'm going to rid our world of all nuclear weapons," with straight faces, I felt a strange mix of pity and admiration. However, one who doesn't fare quite as well is John Cryer as Lenny Luthor. Though not as obnoxious as Richard Pryor was, I still can't imagine Lenny Luthor's topical "dude" persona working any better on paper than it did in the film. Probably the worst actor in the movie, by far, is Mark Pillow as Nuclear Man, dubbed over by Gene Hackman. His Neanderthal expression, combined with the flamboyant outfit and Hackman's guttural deliveries, makes him totally devoid of any menace. As I mentioned before, this movie was not exactly fortunate when it came to its budget. Thus, it resulted in effects that even a novice could pick up on. And I'm not talking about the fact that they reused the same shot of Superman flying at the camera over and over and over again, right from the opening title sequence. The whole movie just looks so cheap. It doesn't look like something that would be released to theaters. It's more along the lines of a television movie, having some of the worst blue screen shots I've ever seen. Unlike the first two, where some of the effects are outdated by today's standards, these effects were outdated when this movie came out. It's not just the effects that suffer either. The story outright steals plot points from previous films, such as the memory-erasing kiss and the flying scene, because the memory-erasing kiss worked so well the first time. In addition, the whole nuclear arms race subplot feels insultingly oversimplified here. Without going too deep into the argument for or against possession of nukes and the fear of mutually assured destruction, I think we can all agree that the topic deserved more thought than just being used as a plot device to give the hero a more powerful opponent to fight. Even the music is downgraded. The original John Williams score doesn't feel nearly as polished or as grand this time around, often coming off as a jumbled mishmash of familiar musical cues put together by lesser composers. One thing I can say for this movie, though, is that it's not played for a comedy, which makes it less annoying than its predecessor. However, the fact that they go for a more serious route and fail astronomically might prove to be more insulting to some viewers given the complex subject matter. Overall, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace seems like it was doomed to fail right off the bat. The characters either feel uninspired or just recycled, the story doesn't make any sense, the nuclear backdrop is oversimplified, the effects are laughably bad, and the campier moments severely clash with the more serious subject matter that they were going for. While I was not as miserable during this as I was during Superman 3, the technical ineptitude still caused the original Superman film series to go out on a whimper.